A middle-aged old man named Papa is seen in his house waiting for someone. He has a wife named Mary and a 7-year-old daughter named Annabelle. His family members are not with him at the moment whilst he is in the village. Just then, a female in a priestess attire comes to Papa and he takes her to the basement. She takes out some powder and starts to draw a symbol to begin a ritual. She places the head of a goat in the center of the symbol as she recites an incantation. The priestess asks Papa to give the offering. Papa opens a case as we see a bundle of cash with a pile of hair in it. The priestess takes the hair and swallows some of it. She feeds the rest to Papa. She then takes out the money and sets it on fire. The priestess is seen levitating in the sky as she says,
"Old man, for this sacrifice you have offered, you will never see poverty again in your life."
Just then, the head of the goat becomes a full-fledged living one as cash start to rain in the room. Some years later, we see newspapers showing the enormous wealth of Papa. Among the news, we also see the fact that his wife died as he later married another woman who was an actress. A few years after that, we see that Papa's business suddenly collapses as his health starts to crumble. We see Annabelle in the train. She is being hit on by a man old enough to be her father as she feels disgusted. She pickpockets his wallet as she finds a new place to sit. She checks the wallet as she feels her back being heavy. She gets to the hospital her father is placed in and meets her step-siblings named Sam, who is with his girlfriend named Cindy, and Maya, who is a female. They go to Papa's room and Maya tells Annabelle that, after their business went bankrupt, Papa frequently visited the house in the village, so their stepmother named Mama has gone there to see if they can sell some assets to help the family. The other siblings leave as Annabelle is left with Papa. She talks to her father.
"You senile old man, abandoning your only daughter just because you had a bit of money. Even your new family pushed me away."
Just after saying that, the lights in the room goes off. Papa awakens and grabs Annabelle by the wrist, refusing to let her go. She said, "Hey, what are you looking at?" Annabelle watches the direction her father is looking and sees a figure crawling towards them. The figure suddenly disappears as the lights come on. Annabelle feels her father still holding her hand tightly. She turns to free herself as she sees her father's face turned into the figure that was crawling earlier. Annabelle struggles for a while when the other siblings come inside. The father starts running around as he hits Cindy, Sam's girlfriend, to the ground. He pukes blood on the ground before he finally collapses. Annabelle goes outside and meets with her stepmom, who tells her to come with them to the village. She refuses and goes home. Annabelle has a dream whereby her mom is crawling on the ground as she is being pulled in by an entity. The little Annabelle tries to help her mother, which leads to no avail, creating the scars on her hands. Annabelle wakes up from the dream and goes to see her mom's picture. She then makes up her mind to go to the village with her step-family. Annabelle gets to the village and enters the house. She sees many ritualistic items in the house. She tries to open a particular door, but it wouldn't budge. She turns her back to leave as she sees a young girl standing behind her. It turns out to be the last born of her step-family named Krista. The rest of the family come in as they have dinner. Annabelle's stepmother plans to sell the house as Annabelle gets agitated. She goes to her room as she opens her diary. Sam comes in to comfort her as Annabelle hides her book. He tries to bond with her as she accepts. They have some drinks and fool around the house. The duo head downstairs as they meet Maya. They see two doors closed tightly as Annabelle tries to open one of them. Sam also tries to open the other as they both struggle. Annabelle opens hers as we see the picture of the young Annabelle with voodoo dolls surrounding it. She also sees the carcass of a dead goat that stinks the room. Sam, on the other hand, opens his door when an unseen entity comes out of it. It gets to the hospital as Papa wakes up. He starts pulling hairs from his throat as he dies in the process. The stepmother goes to Annabelle. Annabelle prevents her from going into the room, but the stepmom is still persistent. Krista, who has been standing there all this while, points at her mother's ankle. We see a rope wrapping around her leg as she is pulled into the room. She comes out possessed by the entity. She goes after Maya when Annabelle uses a hammer to hit her head. Before the possessed stepmother collapses, she tells them that their souls are for Satan. as payment for their father's wealth. They head to the car but see that it had been sabotaged. Annabelle plans to take Maya to a hospital nearby as she tells Sam to find a way to get help. Maya and Annabelle sees their possessed mom, and Annabelle goes to ambush her. She gets closer and sees that she had vanished. She comes back and Maya questions Annabelle to explain what was in her diary. The book has the pictures of her step-family with their face crossed in it. Maya flees into the forest as Annabelle follows her, trying to explain herself. She falls to the ground and loses track of Maya. Annabelle goes to the house and explains everything to Sam. Sam understands her as they see a book. The book contains a satanic ritual used for making money. The siblings come to realize the source of their father's money. It's a ritual that lets you sacrifice the ones around you for money. This then explains why Annabelle's mother was pulled away by the entity. It is shown that after Annabelle's mother's death, Papa sealed the entity to prevent from attacking his family. This then caused the downfall of his business and the incurable illness he had. The presence heads back to the house as it enters Krista's room. It calls Krista using her mother's voice, and Krista wakes up. Krista opens a locker when a woman holds her leg, dragging her under the bed. Sam had already called his girlfriend before his phone died. We see Cindy in the woods. Her car breaks down as she sees Maya. Maya asks for help, but Cindy sees Maya holding a hammer. Maya is tired of controlling her bloodlust and breaks the car window. She then kills the girl and the entity leads her back to the house. The entity leads Maya to the basement as it asks her to be the next satanic priestess. Maya accepts as she sees Annabelle in a trance state. She wakes Annabelle up and takes her to the room. Annabelle suggests to Sam that they leave because their souls have been sold to the devil. Maya starts shaking as she reveals her real intentions. Sam tries to talk to his sister, but the presence chases him away. Maya comes and asks her brother to become her husband, which Sam rejects. Maya breaks Sam's doll as it correspondingly breaks Sam's bones. Sam dies as Maya sends Krista to another room. Annabelle follows Krista as Maya stops her with the doll. Maya slams Annabelle on the ground over and over again until she passes out. She wakes up in her room when she has a vision. It turns out that, after Papa became wealthy, he came to the village and killed the priestess. Before the priestess died, she tore the hair of Papa and cursed him with it before swallowing it. The sudden pain snaps Annabelle back to reality as Maya breaks her doll. Annabelle takes Maya's doll and throws it into the fire, making her burn to death. Annabelle wants to remove their late father's hair from the corpse's mouth to break the curse. She digs the burial site and takes the hair out of the corpse's mouth. The corpse suddenly drags Annabelle down when a hand shows up. It turns out to be Krista as she helps Annabelle out. We see the duo leave as the entity is still trapped inside the room. This is Watched Film Recaps. Stay safe.